then passing to the possibility of taking measurements from the photographs. We never forget that between a program already well done, assuming it exists but no online education programs are developed, for the lack of an economic return. Going back to our speech, even if we have to take the distance between the 2 points on an image, all we have to do is give a known distance, give 2 known points. It can be a segment whose length is known, and click on 2 points, then make a proportion. The unknown distance is the known distance. How the unit of measure is to the unit of measure in pixels. This is quite simple if we see it for a moment. Before we did with Java, then with Flash Macromedia. Quite simpler, and could be used by anyone who reads the page. But they are solutions that can still be changed. The same goes for measurements on 3-dimensional images. Always accepting the normal case. It's about taking the coordinates of a point on a plate, with a click, those of the corresponding point on the other plate, with another click, and apply the formulas to get the ground coordinates of the point. Always using Macromedia Flash. Click on the left frame on the chosen point. Then another click on the corresponding point of the right frame. And you can read the terrain coordinates X, Y and Z in the appropriate field, located under the frames. It is a fairly simple operation. But we never forget that at school level. These operations are useful first of all to learn to read and write in the new language. Done this, any documentation problem can be considered solved. Because networking the relationship with HTML documents or digital documents, corresponding to traditional writing with pen and paper, allows you to focus on what to present and how to present the documentation. Regarding the application of web pages on the internet, we must already say that the internet itself, it is already an archive, even too large. If in fact we take any search engine. And so, to stay on topic, we write architecture relief. A series of pages comes out indications of sites that deal with the relief of architecture. In this particular case, we already find in the first place the site of our laboratory. But then the problems begin, if in fact the first link leads directly to the site. And here, fortunately, let's say for the organization, we find, on the first page, the introduction to the course, and the course program itself, in addition to the possibility of previewing these DVDs, albeit in a smaller format but directly via the network. Then we can find the program of the architectural survey course. But the search engine, many times it also puts other pages on the site. And this already confuses. On the second link we find the other pages of the site. And here, if we click, we find 10 pages. All with architectural relief. I dare to criticize our site because I'm the first person responsible for the latest version. It would have been logical already in the title of the page. Indicate the topics that the page deals with. That is, teaching, research and so on. And would have offered a clearer picture. Not to apologize because the site was not born to be consulted remotely. And it had to be expected at least. But the initial purpose was to inform who intends to follow the course about the curriculum, what was really done, and what were the results. Therefore, considering that the discipline of architectural photogrammetry has always been non-mandatory, and, even today, it is among the subjects chosen by the student, whoever had the chance before attending it, to see what was done, and therefore the undersigned had the possibility, if something was wrong, of saying, "You have already seen what it is," or adapt to or give up. Then the site ended internationally. So everything should be redone on the site. At least with fairly precise indications. Not only but considering that, most of the time, the engine, when you visit the site, always using the keyword take pages, which seen individually make no sense. It would be advisable to immediately put on the site a map of the site itself, to which the engine could refer, to choose the pages to indicate to the navigator. And this is missing, I repeat, as there is no translation into another language, as there are not many other things. But let's say that the best is the enemy of the good. You have to start, so we accept certain defects, certain inconveniences, and off you go. Certainly sorry, the fundamental fact that with a keyword as an architectural relief should appear immediately the photogrammetric catalog of architectural heritage, which is the first thing that who is interested in the relief of architecture is looking, but in this confusion, he can hardly find it. On the third page of the search engine, there is a link to the laboratory library. We say it is quite difficult to track him down. Also, for those who know the site relief polybit and consult the site itself, this regarding the search engine, it would be advisable to start a training course. Let's say right away that traffic on the network is nothing other than traffic on the road. Depends on user education in the case of the road. Apart from compliance with the highway code, a lot of people remain who misuses the road. The most banal example is that of whom to move around the city, or just outside but always on the asphalt, takes an off-road vehicle, and this already as a footprint. Left parked sign die on the street occupies a space. Let's not talk about how traffic works. And road education identical what happens on the web.